Okay, so here's the thing you got to understand about UNH. There's two businesses. There's the managed care business, and there's everything else. And our job is to value both. If they're smart, they would separate these businesses, honestly. No reason they have to be together. Let's look. Okay, so we got Optum and UnitedHealth working to help build a modern, high-performing health system through improved access, affordability, outcomes, and experiences. For individuals and organizations we are privileged to serve. The ability to analyze complex data and apply deep health expertise and insights allows us to serve patients with more innovative products and complete end-to-end offerings for many of the biggest challenges. Optum seeks to create a higher performing, value-oriented, and more connected approach to healthcare. Bringing together clinical expertise, technology, and data to make healthcare simpler, more effective, more affordable, we seek to advance whole person health, creating seamless consumer experience and supporting doctors with insights to deliver personalized, evidence-based care. Optum serves the broad healthcare market, patients, consumers, payers, providers, employers, governments, etc., through Optum Health, Optum Insight, and Optum Rx. So Optum Rx is PBM, basically useless. These businesses, and I think Optum Insight is like data. I don't know what Optum Health does. We'll find out. That's the whole point of this. UNH, full range of health benefits. So this is the managed care business. Designed to simplify the healthcare experience, make it affordable for consumers to access care. Employer and individual serves consumers and employers. This is the typical managed care we're all used to. Medicare and retirement, community and state. So some of those are Medicaid patients. Optum Health, Optum Insight, Optum Rx, and UNH are their 4 reportable segments. Okay. Optum is an information technologies like healthcare IT enabled health services business serving the broad health marketplace. We're going to get into this. Those who need care, patients who need the right care, information, resources, products, and engagement to improve their health, achieve their health goals, and receive the improved patient experience that's personalized, comprehensive, and delivered in all care settings. Those who provide care, physicians, hospitals, pharmacies, and others, seeking to improve the health system and reduce the administrative burden, allowing for providers to focus time on patients, leading to the best possible patient care and experiences while achieving better health outcomes at lower costs, improved health outcomes. It's pretty corporate speaky. Kind of euphemisms. Okay, Optum Health delivers patient-centered care, whatever that means. Oh, this is their, okay, Optum Health, this is their doctor group, right? They have like a big doctor group system. Yeah, primary, specialty, and surgical care. 100 million consumers, 100 healthcare payer partners. Primary, specialty, and surgical care. They own the doctors, they own them. Why do they own the doctors? That's not fair. We can end it. It's done. Can't have it. Okay, they have Optum. Optum Financial. Optum is such an ominous word. Optum Bank. Yo. Optum Insight's probably like the really valuable software business, high margin kind of thing. So I'm just reading the company filings. So if you want to follow along, just hit the backtick button, type in UNH Equity, which is the F8 key, or you can type EQ if you want. Type CF and hit enter, and just scroll down to the 10K and hit enter, and there you go. There you have it. You have the same document I'm looking at. So much faster 10K, 10Q lookup than SEC.gov. And if you're looking at SEC filings all day like me, every second counts. Your HSAs through Optum? That's so weird. Thanks, Nether. Good to be back. Okay, so UNH, for at least for employers, 29.7 million people, which we're gonna be looking at these numbers really carefully in a minute. Here they tell them about regulation, some other risk factors. 400,000 employees. Jesus Christ, too big to fail. I skipped the risk factors because I take enough risk, man. I don't need more. So little opaque here. Premiums, products, services. Really odd kind of thing, but we might get some more insight here in a second. Here's Optum Health, Optum Insight, Optum Rx. Okay, we actually didn't have some of these, right? And this is pretty important. So basically, I'm going to try to value this as a sum of parts. So like, what is Optum's... Optum Health, this is the physician services. So yeah, what is each part of UNH worth separately? Because they're probably going to be broken apart at the end of the day. every roll-up gets broken apart at some point. So Optum Rx is basically useless. It's going to have the most revenue, but it's just buying drugs at scale and paying less for them. So there's eliminations here. The eliminations actually aren't much. So total Optum. How would country dumb go about looking at UNH? That's what I think. Forget Tiger or anyone like that. We don't need them. Well, then there's UNH. Okay, so there's UNH proper, which is managed care. So this is kind of interesting how they built this up. There's two ways to build revenue here, which is lovely. You gotta love it. And the eliminations are kind of a little wild because, you know, they're basically saying this revenue can go in both places, which is really cringe and hard for make an accountant go crazy. Well, some of it could be we're booking the revenue that we're also insuring, right? So you go to one of our doctors, you're going to pay him, or no, wait. Yeah. Let's say you go to one of our doctors that Aetna insures, we get paid. But if you go to one of our doctors and you have our insurance, we still get paid twice. I knew I shouldn't have covered it. So there's two ways to get revenue. You can add premiums, product, services, and investments, or you can take Optum, UNH, and the eliminations. Both are going to be important. So long PGen, yeah. So I'm just going to fill the gap on Newegg. I want to see the real good trader in me. Like the last 10 minutes, I've been like, I got to go back into Newegg. And like, it's one of the hardest things to be like, no, I covered early. I'm getting back in. I just can't do it. It's psychologically too hard. I know it's going to keep dropping. So you got to have that. You got to cultivate this like viciousness. Instead, I'm just like, oh, I should be covering it, you know, book my profit. So at the end of the day, like, do I really want to be in the stock the rest of my life? I made my trade. I made $40 almost, you know, a share. What do I need Newegg in my system for? Okay. You get back to 100, wake me up. Huma I can short. Huma I like. Huma's a worthless company making a little device. What else can I short? Short a lot of stuff. Oh, you a little IonQ? A little capper? The capper? Should we short the cap? We got to short the capper. They are giving margins here for these businesses. And that's really important because if we split all right. So anyway, this is the country dumb analysis. Some of the parts breakup analysis. So I'm doing Optum Insight first because I think I could understand this business a little bit. Although margins dropped, so I don't know what the hell this is. But this seems like it's a software business. So had higher margins previously. They must have gotten into some weird low margin business. But let's Optum Insight, operating margin, operating profit. Yeah, they need to break this thing up, man. They need Elliot. They need an activist. Jump in there. Hey, listen, it's a nice company you guys built. It would be a shame if you broke up. So Optum Insight profit is a little sketchy here because $3.5 billion, $4 billion, then dropped like a rock. And the revenue itself went up, but margins dropped. It's weird. So I was hoping Optum Insight would be worth a boatload. What's the stock at right now? 300. So 274 billion cap. So I don't know what you put on this, but it's not worth that much. So maybe it's worth 30 to 60 billion. Okay, so that's this part. Some of the parts. Just gonna do a little back of the envelope. All right, guys, not gonna hurt. It's a little unsophisticated, but we'll see. All right, Optum Health. Let's do Optum RX. That's 4.4% margin. Not worth a lot. And that's been the same every year, which is kind of funny. It's very consistent. And so I guess they're eating Express Scripts lunch or something. Now, I'm not going to pay a big multiple for that. I'm going to pay anywhere from 7 to 10 times. That's still a lot. 40 to 60 billion. Some people, sum of the parts, SOTP. So this is low, this is high. Okay, and now we do Optum Health. It's, just a quick little sum of parts. Now, there are some eliminations. So like technically, I just don't want to be double counting revenue because if the eliminations, I might have to adjust for eliminations. Let's see where this takes us. Then we can philosophize. My Velociraptors. 856974. 856974. I'm going to pay not much for these either. Like, I'd even say 5 to 10x. 40 to 80. Okay, so argument's sake, when it was trading in the low 200s, you were arguably getting the insurer for free. And you're just Optum alone is worth 155 billion, which is not quite free. But let's look at the big boy, which is of course the managed care system. Margins again here very low, 5.8, 5.8, 5.2, but ton of revenue. I think what a lot of people got confused about this company, quite frankly, is it a growth company or is it not? And it's really not a growth company. And I think that the multiple got a little out of hand because again, my personal valuation for a managed care company is like 5 times earnings, maybe 10 times earnings. So yeah, man, fairly valued. I mean, how efficient is the market, man? I type in 300. Look at this. Look at this chat. That's a thing of beauty right there. Peep that for a minute. Behold that. Why is that a thing of beauty? Yeah, 5 to 10 times with no growth. How crazy is that? These are the two. This is what my point is. Wild, huh? Everything is priced in. Nothing ever happens. Billions must die. Let's look at their reported operating income, right? So let's add these up and compare that to reported operating income, which is a little higher actually. So that's sort of a good sign. It seems like our eliminations process won't be needed. If anything, we're sort of undervaluing their operating income. Yeah, even with the breakup, I mean, how do you get the value out of this? Managed care is, I think the big change here is this managed care is going to become less and less useful. It's not that valuable. I'm not giving 20 times to a managed care company. You're trying to dress up as a tech company. It ain't going down like that. My verdict in UAH, I don't need 2 hours. I did 1 hour. Is basically stay away. Let me see if I got my research component back working. So I just go to RES, pull this up. Let's see. There we go. I got JP Morgan's latest on UNH. Let's see what they said. 2Q25 miss. Focus remains on commentary on call with detailed guidance. Reintroduced lower than expected. EPS came in lower than expected. Much worse. Wow, $4 worse than $4.60. Although we believe much of the focus will be on the reintroduced guidance for at least $16 a share. That's still 20 times EPS, which was also well below 18 to 20 times, or 18 to 20 models always on GitHub. UNH reports formal compliance with DOJ regarding Medicare Advantage. Company proactively reached out to the DOJ. Special master's report. That sounds scary. I never want to have a special master. Okay, let's do a new poll. Oh man, look how ugly this chart is. Oof, what a dog. Newegg has just got every baggie in there. It's gonna squeeze. I can't wait. I'm gonna burn the shorties. My $5,000 Robinhood account's gonna be worth $500,000. Okay, so you guys want me to look at Reddit? Amazing QUBT's not down. Solana recovering there. Yeah, Fujitsu's better on integers for sure. The floating point looks like a tie. Up almost 50% at 65K. That's 50% gain. Like I said, when it rains, it pours. Both ways. It's a new thing per Alvo. The new system puts the focus window on with the currency symbol. The old focus windows. Oh, that's funny, Wojtek. I didn't know that. Yeah, I got to read that paper more carefully. But yeah, D-Wave is a disaster, obviously. Yeah, Immune is just such a small cap. I saw that too. I mean, it's just such a micro cap. It is a high cost to borrow, actually. Joby's reversal is pretty bearish. The fact it didn't go up on their quote-unquote good news, a little sus. I want to short more INQ as well. Reddit traffic's doubled in the last 2 years. It's the number 8 website in the world, number 5 website in the US. And I just completely ignored it. On Godel, RDDT, equity CF, 10Q, and I'm in. Takes 1 second. No more futzing around the SEC website. Shares outstanding is right on the first page, 129 plus 54. 45 billion cap, who would have thought? How about the cash? Let's see, 635, 727 plus 1215, 415. That's 2 billion in cash, so pretty much the same enterprise value, same market cap. Who convert or did equity sell to get that? Or maybe they just have profits. The revenue soaring. Absolutely stunning revenue growth. Get that tail out of my face. Software margins, social media software margins. Revenue growth accelerating. Unbelievable. Said I missed this. Reddit's going through a renaissance. I IPO, stock-based comp, accounting thing, that's normal. Amazing cost controls. Sales and marketing and G&A barely went up despite revenue going up 60%. That's what you like to see. Cash flow from operations is positive. That down real quick over here, 127,578, 32,064. Ads US, DAU MAU, DAU 108 million. It's amazing that Snap can't. Snap has 6x the DAU and can't get it together. We gotta buy some Snap. DAU isn't even growing that much for Reddit, and it's just well managed. Snap needs a new CEO, man. Who knows? Maybe he's the philosophy of like playing the long game, where my number one thing is getting the users holding on to them. Forget profits and revenue. I'll get that when I get that. There's something to be said for that. There's weekly average users, which is a weird metric, but I'll take it. Absolute beast of a company. Whoever this new management is as well is absolutely crushing it. I don't even know who the CEO is, and like all these other CEOs are making noise, building their brand, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know who the CEO is. Whoever it is, they're absolutely crushing. I wanted to get to the end of the document, but end actually takes you to the old menu, Bloomberg keyboard shortcut. Usually the CEO has to sign these things, but you got the CFO signing it. Okay, so we're gonna look at consensus. We just do EM on Godel. Again, really nice. Don't have to do RDDT, enter, EM, enter. If you want to do it even faster than pressing the F8 button, maybe. So Street's at 2.04 billion. They reported 500 for Q2. So amazing growth. They did 281 the year. Wow, revenue's almost doubled year over year. That is so nuts. How, Sway? How? What are they doing over there at Reddit? I gotta hire some people to work there. Whatever they're doing is magic. This is like better than Palantir. Who would have thought? This is a magic trick. They took this dying old website and look at that, 12% revenue growth. You know what? I think we're gonna go a little faster. 20, 20, 20. Not fast enough. 40, 50, 60, 70. What? How? Who does that? That is a blistering, insane growth rate. Street's at 271 for the year after. Obviously, a bunch of this is going to be priced in, as you guys know. It still might be good. It's crazy. Why weren't we buying it? See, I'm not a full-time investor. I'm a full-time Godel creator. Whatever the formula they got going, it's gonna keep going. They're saying 535 to 545 next quarter. Street's at 545. They're gonna destroy that number. They can do like 575 or something crazy. Yeah, we do the breakdowns all the time. Let's do it real quick. We've done these probably 5 or 6 times, maybe more now. Let's do the P&L history. It's one of my favorite things to do. Okay, so D-Wave, Rigetti. These are our biggest losers in order. And I sold Intel too early. All right, these are our losers. Pretty good transparency, wouldn't you say? So those are losers. Leave that there, and then we'll do the winners. Same thing, ranked P-Gems. Changing as we speak. I think that this P&L, it should include like borrow fees and stuff like that, but my guess is the delta, because this says, which is, there's a 4% difference there from the two ways they report it, but I'm guessing that could be borrow fees or like something like that. Anyway, that's the P&L. So as you can see, Quantum, without Quantum, I'd be up 109%. So Immune is the biggest winner. Abivax number 2. SBET, which is really crazy, and Newegg, both like some crazy quick trades. Some pretty good profits there. About 23% attribution. ATYR has been profitable so far, but I expect this will be even bigger than Immune when I'm done with it. Sarepta, is a bit of a caustic and violent situation. IonQ, we went ham when Amazon announced their so-called investment in IonQ. That was fun. But yeah, D-Wave is, D-Wave's been the big mistake, but it will turn to, I don't know if it's going to ever turn into a profit, but Rigetti's also been painful. Those are two really big outliers. Stopped myself out of. Stop losses would have actually worked really well for this account. I would have turned this. This would be more like a -10. So I'd lose 20 points with this stop loss, but I would have saved, yeah, I would have had an extra 25%. So I just done some stop losses, and I encourage you guys to use stop losses. I don't do them. I kind of do them manually. You know, it's laziness on my part, to be honest. If I had a trader doing them for me, yeah, I think it would be nice. But yeah, PGen's there. ATYR is my biggest position. So shorts, these are losses. Losses have contributed 66%. Gainers have been 118%. So I certainly, needless to say, made more than I lost. Let's look at shorts versus longs. So I'm going to color the shorts in red. Short, 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 short. That was long. Short, short. That was long. Short, short. That was long. That was long. I don't remember some of these trades. How crazy is that? All right, I'll assume the rest are longs. Some of the P&L does, if it's a small one, it doesn't matter anyway. Intel I was long, Regeneron I was long, these two I was long, Gilead was definitely long. Repl I didn't know it was long, Sarepta was long, these two I was long. HIMS was, again, kind of both. PGen for sure I was long these. I remember all these. And yeah, these are so small that I'm not for sure long. Novo. So P&L for shorts. So shorts, I've net lost money on shorts, despite getting some good ones. Shorts have cost me. I just never shorted. That'd be nice. Now, you'd also have all this beta. So let's add up the longs. Okay, I actually did make money on shorts. Look at the column I'm adding. All right, shorts made me 5% in total. Making money while the market's going up on shorts is pretty hard, so I'm proud of that. Longs, a lot easier. Any stock's gone up. You know, it's not impressive. Almost every stock's gone up by any stock. That's why you know, all the retail investors who are, oh, I'm up on D-Wave or whatever, like every stock is up. So I'm proud to be up on shorts and longs. 46 from longs and 5 from shorts. And now let's do a win-loss rate. 17 losers, 33 winners, 66% win rate. This is too good. Nice run the last few weeks. I gotta take it easy, slow down. My long-term average is around 62, maybe 61. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Sarepta will get bought out. $21, let's go. Yeah, I looked at the Scorpion. You know, Ken, it's just bad timing, you know? That one puzzles me too. I just missed the timing on Capper. Same thing with IonQ, you know, IonQ has been a rocket ship, but since April, when I opened this account, or May, it hasn't really been a rocket ship, and it had good timing on that one. I had bad timing on. So cursory look, but I like Reddit. Amazing company. Amazing performance from this company. Wow, Rigetti's down 9%. Let's go. Death of Quantum. It's over. 40%, it was huge amounts of volatility, so don't pat myself on the back too much. I was down almost 50%, or around 50% at one point when we had the dual attack of Quantum and Sarepta all at once. That was vicious. They wanted to kill Shkreli. They wanted to close Shkreli down. They wanted to end Shkreli's career. They sent Jamie. They sent UBS, the Swiss bankers. You remember the Swiss? I remember. I remember 3-4 different people from JP Morgan calling nonstop. I told wifey, don't answer the phone. Don't answer. So why are they calling? What's the problem? Nothing, babe. Don't worry about it. I almost got Shkreli. They almost had me. I almost could have put food on the table. I had to borrow some money from the big homie. Purse money missing. Auntie money missing. I had to wear the bag on the head twice. Bean. I don't put more in. Just put the original amount back. Yeah, no, I mean, the best thing of all is ATYR is going to be down 90%. Let me get $1, man. Let me hold $1. No, I'm not hedged in QC. That's a good point, Justin. Sorry, nobody type. We just want to talk to New Life right now. A number 3 fan? Crazy, bro. I come on the stream. I try my hardest to entertain you, to teach you, to put money in your pocket, and you treat me like that? You treat me like dirt? Why? I mean, I'm doing my best. I don't have to stream. You're gonna hit him with roses?